Hey, welcome to week 8. All right.
Here it is.
Get my questions out. There we go. All right. We can do this real fast. D, C, 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 B, D. No, I don't know.
And you guys blaze through it and get done in less than 5
Sure.
minutes.
All right.
Join us next week when we do.
Yeah. Which of the following are residents of rich countries likely to have in greater quantities or better quality than residents of poor quantities? And I put all the above: housing, healthcare, life expectancy.
Yeah, that's what I get.
You agree?
I agree.
I agree.
All right. And during the past century, the average growth rate of U.S. real GDP per person implies that it doubled on average about every 35 years. See.
I agree.
Yeah, that was on the first page. Well, half of these were all on the first page of the reading.
Yeah.
The average income in a rich country such as the United States or Japan is more than 10 times, but less than 20 times the average income in a poor country such as Indonesia or Nigeria. C.
I agree.
All right.
Agree.
And number 4 was on page 12 dash. Which of the following curriculum ranks the 3 countries from highest to lowest for percentage of high school age children in school? United and Mali. Okay. I put C. I actually remember the numbers. I think it's 60%, 30%, and 7%.
I agree.
All right.
There's another one of those ones where you can just kind of think about it logically and
Yeah.
That too.
kind of say,
Yeah,
well.
exactly. But then I was wondering if maybe Mali had an accelerated, growth over Mexico. I don't know, but nope, they didn't. Let's see. 5 countries that grew the fastest over the last 100 or so years had average growth rates of real income per person of about 2%.
Was that one in?
I think it's on the first page.
Was that on the first page as well?
Reading.
Because I just took a stab at that one. I've got 2.5%, but that was on the first page then.
I guess 2.5. I guess.
So I didn't see that one. I must have just.
See. I thought it was on the first page. Here, where's it at?
I couldn't find it. I just guessed 2.5. I was just going off of that chart.
Oh, maybe. Let me see. How come this won't open? Hang on a second. Not my phone.
Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, it is on the first page.
It's
Even
2%,
within the
right?
country, there are large changes in standard of living over time. Blah 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 blah. Average income as measured by real gross domestic product per person has grown about 2% per year. Although 2% might seem small, yeah. So you're right.
There you go. Yeah, I used a little highlighter to mark the answer, and then I used the little comment box to put where I found the answer. So, oh, I didn't. That's the wrong one. Number 6, I did the math on it. Hey, it might be important.
Yeah. I don't know who'd be calling at this time of night. I'm going to double check it though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's on the first page of the reading.
Yeah. I put just page 1. How are things in Texas? Cooling off now?
Oh, it's cooling down. It's like in the, what is it right now? I mean, it's cool in the morning and then hot in the afternoon. It's like 60 degrees right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we're still 80.
Oh,
Yeah, right at 80 degrees.
Wasn't important.
Oh, you won the lottery or something.
No, some prince in Nigeria wants to send me $1 million.
Oh, you should jump on that real quick.
You just have to give him my social security number.
Yeah, well, you won it. It's what's her name, Sarah, or whatever. You won a trip to the Bahamas.
There you go.
And you guys never get those, right?
Oh, all the time.
I know. Let's see.
So we're
Number
around
6.
6.
Last year, real GDP in the imaginary country of Oceania, blah blah blah, and what was the other country? Year before. Okay, yeah. So the first year and the second year. So I put 2% D.
That's what I got. I wasn't 100% sure on it just because I wasn't sure if I did my math right, but yeah, I got 2%.
Yeah, I just took the billions divided by the population, both of them, and then I took the difference of those two. The percentage was 2%.
Right.
I got 12. I divided. How did I get that? How did
Well,
I get that?
Yeah, I get like, I don't know, I took a bunch of zeros off, but I get like 255 divided by 250 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you took the 561 divided by
the 5,000, 5 even, I think.
No, the 561 divided by the
2.2 million, and then 500
the
divided by the 2 million.
500.
Wouldn't it be how much it grew?
I know, but you got to find the GDP for both years, and then the difference between the two.
Oh.
The way I read it, so that's why it has 2 different years. So the GDP in one year is 561 billion divided by 2.2 million, and the GDP in another year, 5 billion divided by 2 million, and then the percent difference of those two numbers that you get. Does that make sense?
I thought the GDP was the 561.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm reading.
What was the growth rate of real GDP?
Yeah, so like how much did
okay.
did it grow from one year to the next? And so yeah, what you end up getting, because you take the 561 divided by 0.22 equals 2,550, but that would be, I'm just dropping a bunch of zeros to make math simpler.
Well, he's saying just forget the population. Real GDP is 561, and the other real GDP is 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the growth rate? Oh, per person.
It says per person, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's where I missed it. Okay. Yeah. So that is it. I believe 2%.
And that sounds more realistic when you compare it to all the other charts and things. Because I think the max, when you look at your real GDP per person, that chart with all the different countries on it, I think the highest one was like 2.61. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't very high.
So 2 sounds like it would be more in that ballpark.
Yeah, I'm going to highlight that per person just so I remember that. All right, I'll do one more.
Sounds good.
Let's see, which of the following would by itself reveal the most about a country's standard of living? And I put its productivity. Like that was on page 1.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Anybody want to take a few?
I guess I'll do a couple.
I'll leave you the harder ones. Although I kind of thought this was almost a common sense one. So A is out, right? Because natural resources are part of productivity. Oh, hey Chase, you still there?
Did we lose Chase?
Yeah, he's frozen screen.
Which was he? What was he on?
Huh?
Which number were we on? On 7?
We're on 8.
8.
Let me see if I can invite him again. Maybe that'll help. Paste. Ring, 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 ring. I don't know, what does it do? Does it ring?
Yeah, it rings.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Basically like a phone.
So it's kind of like Skype in a way.
Basically, yeah.
Well, no Jaren, no. Jaren had another email, I believe.
I think he did.
I think you can copy the link in Facebook, and it would get you there. If you go straight to the YouTube, does it work?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried it that way.
Sorry about that. My computer just decided to lock up for a second there.
There you go. Hey, you don't get off that easy. We'll wait. We'll wait all to midnight.
All right.
All right, number 8 is all yours.
All right. The notion that our ability to conserve natural resources is growing more rapidly than our supply or than their supplies are dwindling is supported by the fact that, and I got C on this one, inflation adjusted prices of most natural resources have been stable or fallen over time.
Yeah, I got that too. It seemed like a common sense question.
Yeah. Is everybody good on that one?
Feeling good on that one, Alfredo?
Mm,
I think A is not true because natural resources are a determinant of productivity, right?
but you can always trade. I was reading it's in the reading. Talks about it's not necessarily the highest. I mean, it affects it, but not much because a country can trade.
Yeah, I was just thinking that they're conserving, so their natural resources do not go up in price very fast. I was thinking of it in that simple terms. That sound logical? Hey Chase, we lose you again?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. You have like the great poker face.
It's my concentration face. I was reading the
Yeah,
problem over again.
not even moving. Either alive or dead. If we can find the page, that'd be cool. But
Let's see. It is.
Sure, which page is it talking
if
about?
it's D, then they're not conserving, is my opinion, because the prices were rising. A doesn't seem right at all, and B, the quantity of natural resources does not enter into the production of function, but it does, right?
Where I found it was under section 12-2B.
Okay.
Towards the bottom, it's a part of the reading. It's part of the case study at the bottom. The way I understood it is the natural resources have a part in it, but not the biggest part.
Yeah.
So what?
Hey, I read some of. I don't know how I was reading them, but I saw somebody else's discussion group, and one guy posted on there. Yes, that is true. We had a 3-hour hangout.
Oh, gee.
I don't have that kind of time.
Agree with Alfredo that, yeah, like it talks about how Japan doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of natural resources, but yet they can still be productive. But I think it's like what the question's asking here is like, is
A country with resources, I think, is what it's.
yeah, are they, when they're trying to be conservative, be able to conserve natural resources growing more rapidly than their supplies are dwindling is ensured by the fact that, yeah, inflation.
Yeah, it doesn't mention trade. Well, mark that one as.
Yeah, I guess we'll look at that one a little more. Alrighty, we'll go on to 9, come back to that one then. If an inexpensive alternative to oil were found, the price of oil adjusted for inflation, and I got A, would decline as the alternative would reduce the demand for oil.
I agree.
Yep. I
That was
agree.
probably one of those ones that was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, the reduce the demand for oil. Just that's the only one.
It's like we're kind of doing that right now. I mean, you get alternative fuel cars and things that are trying to reduce demand for gas guzzlers and all that. Anyway, 10.
What question are you on?
We are on question 10.
We're on question 20. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're done.
Hey, welcome. You find my invite on Facebook or?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just got it.
Oh, okay. Wow. I sent it out twice, but
No, I just got it like 5 minutes ago.
It was kind of funny. Alrighty, so
you want us to go through the questions real quickly for you? We'll go through the first 9.
yeah, just kind of.
Y'all can finish up right now and then go back over them later.
Well, we'll just give you what we call the answers, and if you have a disagreement with it, you can let us know.
Okay.
Okay, so for number 1, we got D, all the above. Number 2, we got C, 35 years. Number 3, we have C, 10 times, but less than 20. Number 4, that one's a no-brainer pretty much. United Kingdom, Mexico, Mali, which is C. Number 5 is B. We found that on page 1. Number 6 is D, 2%. We have to do a little math on that one. Basically, it's 561 divided by the 2.2 million, and then the 500 divided by the 2 million, and then that difference between those two numbers is 2% growth. Number 7, we have D, it's productivity. And then number 8 is, we kind of going back and forth a little bit on this one, but we have mainly 2 of us are C, inflation adjusted prices for natural resources have been stable or fallen over time. And then we just answered 9, and that would be A.
Okay.
You good with all those? Alrighty, then I'll continue on. So number 10, country A has twice as many workers as country B. Country A also has twice as much physical capital, twice as much human capital, and access to twice as many natural resources as country B. Assuming constant returns to scale, which of the following is higher in country A? And I got D on that one because even though they're double and everything, it's the ratio is still going to be the same as far as productivity and output.
How did you work that one out again? You just plug them into the formula?
Yeah, basically. And since, like, when you're looking at productivity and output per worker, it's going to be, it's asking which one's higher in country A, but because even though it's doubled in country A, the ratio is still going to be the same. Like the productivity and output per worker
Oh, I see. Yeah,
is going to be basically the same.
it's 1-to-1, even though they have twice as many. Okay. Now,
It's not like the people in country A are working any harder or have better technology. They're just
or smarter.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Try another one.
All right, then 11, which of the following would increase productivity, and I've got D. So all
Yeah,
the above, increase in capital stock per worker, human capital per worker, natural resource per worker, all those would.
Yeah, that's what I got. Page 12, 2B. All right.
And then number 12, the number of workers in the economy doubled, all the other inputs stayed the same, and there were constant returns to scale. Productivity would, and I've got B on this one, fall, but it would still be greater than 1/2 of its former value.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but that seems right because it's not doubled in everything. Or
Right. Yeah, this one. Because staying the same and rise, but are just kind of like out of the question. So it was kind of bouncing back and forth between A and B, and I'm leaning more towards B because I don't think that it would push it further than.
yeah, because it's only one portion of the equation, right? One small portion.
Right.
All right.
And my thought process behind that one.
Alfredo, you want to try a few?
Yeah. Let's see. We left off on which one?
13 now.
Lucky 13. Get the math.
Let's see. Workland has a population of 10,000, of whom 7,000 work 8 hours a day to produce a total of 224,000 final goods. Laborland has a population of 5,000, of whom 3,000 work 7 hours a day to produce a total of 105 final goods. I went with B on that one. They have higher productivity, but mainly because they have a lower population. Well, the other country, Laborland, has a lower population. Their GDP per person is technically higher.
Yeah, I went with C on that one.
Yeah, I got C as well.
Because you do 224 divided by 10,000, and then 105 divided by 5,000. I think you get your GDPs. That narrows it down. But then, if you look, there's 3,000 workers working 7 hours a day to make 105,000. You work the math on that, and they have a higher productivity than the Workland guys.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Just by even though they have a higher total final goods, their productivity level is actually lower than.
I think what I did is I just took the 224 divided by 7,000, and then divided it by 8, and you get a number.
Mm-hmm.
and then I took the 105, divided it by 3,000, and then divided that by 7, and you get a little bit higher number, which means their productivity. They each created 5, and then the other ones all created 4 per.
Yeah, they're doing more per person rather than.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the question's backwards. Workland has lower productivity. That's true, but a higher GDP. So
it should be
that
C.
makes Jaren. Yeah. You good with that, Jaren?
I'm good.
Okay. 14. Other things equal relative poor countries. Ooh, sorry, just messing around with one note. Where'd it go? Other things equal relative poor countries tend to grow faster than relative rich countries. This is called the catch-up effect.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yeah, that's what I get.
If the best educated and most skilled person leave a country, the best that just doesn't make sense. Then in the short term, this country's human capital per worker. I went with B on that one.
I actually don't even have an answer on that one.
That one is either B or D.
Yeah, I've got D on this one. Just because.
How will it increase?
Just because you got your most skilled people, which is gonna reduce your capability to produce more, I guess you'd say. But
now, when the educated and skilled leave, the human capital goes down because that's knowledge and skills. Physical capital is the tools that they work with in order to produce products. And I'm trying to think of how that affects if the skilled leave. Suppose if the skilled leave, then there's nobody but the skilled to use the tools.
hold on, let me check something, double check something.
So probably B then, they both decrease because you lose the capital investment in the people and you lose the ability to use the technology, I guess. Does that sound right? Good argument for school right there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I might just have to.
Questions are always so obscure.
Thinking of the movie, it's not a church appropriate movie, but the movie Idiocracy is on that one. Everybody became idiots.
Huh. Yes, I guess we'll just have to
go back to that one.
Look more into that one, or come back to it after we've gone through.
All right.
Karen, you want to? I got to that answer.
Okay, in the US, each additional year of schooling has historically raised a person's wage on average by about. I have absolutely no idea because I never found this in the book.
Yeah, I think it's D, 10%. And then,
Should I like that as well?
yeah, the gap between poorer countries is larger than the U.S. between poor and rich. It's almost a common sense question if you read it real carefully.
Yeah,
If you knew the 10% part, yeah.
I just
Ten
found it.
percent was on page, or actually, I think it was on the slide.
It's under the
PowerPoint,
education section in the book. It's like the third sentence.
Yeah.
I just found it. I literally just found it. I couldn't find it earlier.
What section is it? 12.
12,
what?
3D, D as in David. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's like the third sentence down.
Cool. Thank you.
I think they just put the book against the wall and threw darts at it and said, "These are the questions we'll ask."
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty
Basically,
much. This lesson especially.
Okay,
gonna
other
mix
things
up the
is other things the same. If a country raises its saving rate, then its growth when is growth of real GDP per person higher? Is there investment? Scroll up.
so I got B for this one because it's one of those diminishing return kind of things, and I think it says it on. What page is that on? Should I talk
Yeah,
about it? Initially, yeah, it's going to affect your
I
growth,
thought-
but in
Yeah.
the long run, not have any effect on your growth.
thought it was C. Because there's a part where it talks about there's a short-term investment. Where's that page? No.
Because if you
trouble
look
finding
at 12-3B, right after the graph that it shows in the paragraph right under that, it says, because of diminishing returns, an increase in the savings rate leads to higher growth only for a while. As the higher saving rate allows more capital to be accumulated, the benefits from additional capital become smaller over time, and so growth slows down in the long run. But so in the long run, yeah.
That works.
I'll take it.
So D, right?
B.
No, it's B.
D, I'm sorry.
All right, suppose there are diminishing returns to capital. Suppose also that two countries are the same, except one has more capital per worker, and so it has more real GDP per worker than the other. Finally, suppose that the saving rate in both countries increases from 4% to 7% over the next 10 years. We would expect that the country that started with less.
So B, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of those underdeveloped or poor countries. Yeah, grow faster usually.
Yeah, I think they wanted you to read the graph kind of on that one.
And which of the following public policies would be least likely to result in more rapid for a poor or developing country? Inward, it'd be D, inward-oriented policies.
I agree.
I agree.
Agree.
And role promoting economic growth. At the very least, should A.
Yep. Economics 150 question there, right? All right. Any of them we got questions about before we?
I think it was just 8 and 15. We're gonna go back over.
Question that our ability to conserve natural resources is growing more rapidly than their supplies are dwindling. So it's the nation's natural resources, not anybody else's.
I don't want to go with C on that one now. Just reading it over and over.
Good with that one, Jaron? 8C.
Sure.
Somebody want to put it in the calculator? All right. What other ones do we have? 13?
15.
13 was the only other one that we got stumped on.
Oh, 15.
Yeah.
Okay. If the best educated and most skilled persons leave a country, then in the short term, this country's human capital per worker.
Yeah, I guess maybe my thought process there was like it includes the skilled people, which, you know, it takes skill to use, certain machines, do certain things. So, and I guess in that way it would decrease your physical capital.
Yeah.
Or no. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong. Because at the end of the question it says, in the short term, this country's human capital per worker will decrease because their educated people are gone, their skilled people are gone, so human capital will decrease. Physical capital per worker will increase because there's more machines and things available for other. Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. You think it's B? Nobody there. Nobody there to run the technology.
Yeah, let me go back to.
I believe so.
All right.
Workers more productive if they have tools with which to work with, stock equipment, and structures used to produce goods and services called physical capital. So yeah, that's you. You got more equipment that's not being used because it's not being used by the educated and skilled people.
Equipment that you can't use is the same of not having it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like an auto mechanic loses his Mercedes repair guy. Mercedes work.
I think I just found the answer in the reading. It's on the education section. It's that last paragraph.
About the brain drain?
Yeah, the brain drain.
12 what? 12?
3D.
3D again?
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you guys real quick. What happens with daylight savings?
Fall back.
I know, but I'm in Arizona.
Started
I think we
earlier.
Then Arizona time difference would be 2 hours, not 1.
Yeah, I don't change at all. So you guys would fall back and be. I'd be the same as Central. I'd be the same as Rexburg.
So if daylight savings time was right now, it would actually be 9:44 here.
So we'll be an hour closer instead of an hour away.
Cool.
Yeah.
And still only 1,500 miles between us.
Yeah. Post your times on Facebook, and then we'll. So we going on my time or your time?
It was my practice to always go off mountain time in Rexburg.
Okay, so 8 p.m. Mountain Time next week.
Is that Rexburg Mountain Time or Arizona Mountain Time? Because you're supposed to go off the schools. You're supposed to go off the schools and use that as
the Rexburg Mountain Time. Then 8 o'clock would be.
I'm fine with 8 Rexburg time.
Cool.
Cool.
Does that work?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Too late.
Works for me.
It's earlier.
That's more math than we did all night. All right, guys. Anything else on this that we need to? Did we figure out the last one? I think B is it. That's funny. It calls it a brain drain.
All right, I'm going with B.
Wasn't that in a cartoon? Like these dinosaurs that came back into modern times back in the 90s? Two brothers. One had the pill, the brain gain. The other one had the brain drain.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
That sounds like a 90s cartoon.
I watched that movie. It's an old movie, but the movie where the aircraft carrier went back 40 years to Pearl Harbor. It was a nuclear aircraft carrier. And it goes back with his jets and everything.
And, what's that one called?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for the climax to wipe out the whole Japanese aircraft carriers and everything, but I never got that far in the movie. It goes back. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of skilled labor and brains going back 40 years. They would have dominated.
Yeah, no kidding. We're got so many sophisticated weapons and tools now, I swear.
Oh, I know. Scary.
A cleaned house.
Yeah, how come they keep comparing that large nuke in Russia to the size of Texas?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff there. All right. You guys have anything else? This is kind of a little bit of a breeze compared to past weeks.
Yeah, this wasn't
So
too
far.
bad.
We'll see how we do on the quiz. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a night, and we'll meet 8 p.m. Rexburg time next week. We'll see what that does.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right.
Hey, thank you. I'll go ahead and post this link right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good one.